Good morning. My name is Lalo Diaz, and I'm here to share these moments with you. Going on my 35 years of being an educator, I offer these words. I've been in education for 35 years after completing my master's degree in U.S. history and my PhD in history of Mexico at UCLA. Yeah, I've taught at many schools, beginning with Bell Gardens High School, then I went to Cantwell High School, then I did a little stint at my alma mater, Cathedral. I was at Sarah High School in Gardena, which was indeed a predominantly African-American campus. And I haven't seen any of the difference in terms of kids. Loyola's student body certainly has more, more toys to play with, but the kids are the kids. Same dreams, same ambitions, and theirs just seem to be a little tougher to get to. But the dreams are the same. They want to be better than. More so in Los Angeles, but certainly threaded through all of the United States, we see more and more acculturation and racial mixtures. And if you run surveys through our own high school, I think we're seeing more and more of that, where they go to college and they strike a relationship, and they see so much in common. And I think your generation is seeing far beyond the skin color, which is certainly a great statement for the future. Before, I remember as a young kid, if a black man were to walk in with a white woman, people would stop their eating, stop their conversation in a restaurant, and their eyes would follow them to the table, like aghast by the fact that, oh, how could she? And I think we're over that. By and large, we still have some guys that still hang on to those thoughts, some people whose philosophy is still there, but I think we're beyond that. But when you reference that African Americans are far more successful in athletics, in those particular sports, it's not a stereotype, it's a fact. Now, we get into the stereotypification as to identifying what makes them superior athletes. That's when people come up with reasons. And it's my opinion as a long-standing coach that they work very, very hard to get what they deserve. We've had some great white athletes. The stereotype that white men can't jump, and yet 8 of the top 10 high jumpers in the world are white. Those are stereotypes. America has to come to grips with the fact that we talk out of both sides of our mouth. The most powerful, the most potent military force on earth, the United States, is declaring that it cannot keep Mexicans from invading their borders. I don't know if I buy that. I think we want them to come over because we enjoy the low-paying labor that we can just roll up to a Home Depot and avail ourselves of day laborers, the sweatshops that are out there. They manufacture jackets, coats, clothing at a much lower rate because they're paid under the table. So we want our cake and to eat it too. We want them to be here working for us at the car washes, housekeeping. We want all of that, but we don't want them to reside in our neighborhoods. Explain to me, how can we do that? And eventually their kids will be born here and born U.S. citizens, and then we're aghast when they want to come to our schools. Countries, Mexico failed us, so the decision couldn't have come easy to leave everything that is dear to you culturally and to come over to this country. My dad came first, and about a year later sent for us. And although I was young, I was 3, I have to imagine a very difficult and harrowing experience for my mom, who traveled with the 2 of us, my older sister, myself, and a woman traveling with 2 kids from Mexico City to the Mexican border could not have been easy. We crossed the border, and there waiting for us on the other side was my uncle and my father, who brought us into LA, through his little station wagon. One of the memories that I have in adjusting to America and most especially to Los Angeles, is yes, this is a land of opportunity, and certainly I'm very, very grateful for what America has done, and specifically to embrace our family. But one of the negative memories that I have is walking through downtown LA when I saw what I thought was a water fountain open to everybody and anybody, and my mom clutched me in the back of the neck, pulled me back and said, "No, that's not our drinking fountain." And she later explained to me that there was a white drinking fountain and then a colored drinking fountain. It's a memory that stayed with me for a long time. And I was downtown LA, Broadway, and there were actually boundaries for us. We had people back in Mexico petition for us, meaning they went and secured papers, and I smile when I say that, because in Mexico, if you can't get it through traditional lines, you line some pockets and you get things done. And it took a while, but they secured us a baptismal certificate. They secured everything that we had left behind. They got copies of that, and then that which maybe wasn't in a clerk's office, they were able to secure us. If you're reading between the lines as to what I'm saying, we were able to get our papers together, and incrementally we secured all of that, filed it through the Mexican embassy here, and we were granted permanent residency. And so now I am legally a permanent resident, not a citizen of the United States, but a legal resident of the United States, still residing in Los Angeles in America as a Mexican citizen. Well, it's not that I didn't want to become a lawyer. I knew in my heart of hearts that I was put on this earth to be a teacher. And I tried the profession, and the personal gratification was there. Certainly the money was there. And I know based on my personal makeup characteristics, I would have been dedicated enough to make a truckload of money, but the satisfaction wasn't there. I had a great conversation with one of my former students, Jamal Adams. He was a Wall Street broker, and he understands clearly what I meant. He left Merrill Lynch, he left the world of lucrative financial offering for his family, but I think he saw in his heart of hearts that he had to do what he was meant to do. Every profession, pick one. At one point in history you say, well, this may or may not be a truth, but back in the day there weren't that many black lawyers, there weren't that many black performers, there weren't that many, you're absolutely right, there weren't a lot of black, Asian, women. This was at one time a white landowning country that is now has become now accessible to all of us. And so yes, I do applaud the fact that we do have, you name it, we have prominent comedians, we have athletes, we have every realm has been touched now by who we are. The fact that as you are in high school, you think that things will change, things will open up for what we call the marginalized population of this country. And with the arrival of Antonio Villaraigosa as mayor in such an important city as Los Angeles, and of course the ultimate, probably the most important government takeover in terms of the flow of where these identified people were going, it is culminated with the inauguration of Obama, because now truly it lends credence to the fact that yes, we can penetrate and take a more participatory role in our government. I remain hopeful. Every time I run into my son, my daughter, especially my granddaughter who's 3 years, we have the world in our hand. And now when I see students that come to Loyola that are Latinos, that are African American, Asians, I said, this is the way it always should have been. America is a paradise, and what makes it such is that we welcome people of all creeds and ethnic backgrounds, and I think it was wordplay back in the day. I think now we're finally giving lip service way to reality.